Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker Studio in Fort Collins, Colorado, and supported by the Music District, a music-centric gathering place to cultivate talents, support professional development, and encourage connections.
Welcome to Live at Lunch. I'm your host, Denny LaRue. A special thanks goes out today to the Creative Sector and Music Deck in Fort Collins for this special edition. To learn more, just go to creativesector.net. And now to welcome our Live at Lunch guests, Rebecca Folsom and friends. Thank you.
Brothers, we are not alone.
3, 4.
I rub the sting from barbed wire fences. You push the stones out to reveal. We unbury the ache inside, the sorrows and secrets we hide, so we can finally heal. Then the light of love comes calling to our weary, broken hearts. Relaxing fists, softening eyes, and it lifts us up, helps us rise. Oh, brothers, we are not alone. Can we listen to each other? Let understanding be the way that leads to brighter days. Let loving be the key that sets us free. I'll drop the labels, you'll shed old stories. We'll repair the damage that's been done. Losing fear and pride, humble and dignified, raised from the wreckage a new home. We are capable of so much beauty, so much to realize. Can we reach out to each other, know our brothers, and make a better life? Oh, brothers, we are not alone. Can we listen to each other? Let understanding be the way that leads to brighter days. Let loving be the key that sets us free.
Not see me.
The change will from us, and love will become us.
I am not invisible. I am
here. Love is the opening door. Love is what we came here for. No one could offer you more. Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes really All right. So this is a song that I wrote in coalition with homeless community, people that were experiencing homelessness, and drew upon a little bit of my own life experience for it. This is called Mercy. Standing on the corner, two homeless daughters, young eyes that have seen too many things, shivering there with broken wings. Even now, the memory stings. The rain was cold, cut to the bone, the kind you feel when you're all alone. But the pain that hit even harder was the look on the face of our father, driving up in his car and choosing not to bother. We can make the angels sing, or we can make them cry. All the trouble that living brings can't help but wonder why. Not mercy, 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 for heaven's sake, oh mercy. Please heal this human ache. I got out, but my sister's in deep. Lost her mind, living on the street, caught in the undertow of mistreating. While I built a fortress of succeeding, and lost track of her tender heart beating. Well, she's gone mad, how is that? That I'm the one acting crazy, like that night I dropped her last Christmas Eve. As the snow fell, she turned the key to the storage locker where she'd sleep, and I pretended not to see. We can make the angels sing, or we can make them cry. All the trouble that living brings can't help but wonder why. Not mercy, 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 for heaven's sake, oh mercy. Please heal this human ache. My sister passed away this year. Wiser now, the choice was clear. We brought her home before she departed, going back to where we started, with a prayer for the open hearted. human. Mercy, mercy for how we break. Oh, mercy. Please heal this human ache.
Rebecca Folsom on stage today. Rebecca, those were very moving songs. The last one you wrote, Mercy with the Homeless Coalition?
Yeah, so that was the shelter for the homeless in Boulder.
Okay.
And I hooked up with the board of directors and the staff, and then went in and interviewed people who had experienced homelessness. And I actually, it was one of those times where I wrote a song a couple times. I wrote it one time, and I wrote it for them. I wrote like their stories and for them. And I walked away going, man, it just didn't get there. It didn't, it's a good song, but it just didn't fully reach, into the heart. And, I, when I was a young woman, I had very brief stints in and out of homelessness from 14 to 16 years old. And even though they were brief, they were powerful and hard and challenging. And then my sister was in and out of homelessness for years and years, well, a lot of her life, actually. And I brought that into the song, so I mixed like their stories and my story. And then I came up with Mercy, and I thought, now that says it. That says what I wanted to say.
That's what it needed.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and Brothers, the first song you did with the wonderful vocals from Mark and Robert on that too, with you.
Love them.
That's a beautiful song.
Yeah, thank you. That song I co-wrote with Mark Oblinger, and it was, come on out, you can stand on out there, Mr. Mark. It was, born out of writing with incarcerated men, and really looking at like men's psyche and talking with men about how they are not only just, incarcerated men, but men are jailed in their own, the training that they're given, to not feel and to not, be demonstrative and expressive with their feelings. And and then went into the prison, the state prison in Buena Vista, Colorado, and took the stories in and wrote the song from that with Mark, sat down with Mark and did it. And then we had the amazing journey of, just the stars aligned for us on this. We were invited to come into the state penitentiary and record the fellows doing some rap parts on the song that's on the album. And I actually, at that time, I was working towards my master's at Berklee College of Music, and I was in this steep learning curve of being an engineer, and it was just a gift from God because I couldn't bring anybody else in. Like, I had to engineer these guys, and I had just learned at Berklee like how to do this, and I was so, please don't let me mess this up, just an amazing opportunity. And we had a film crew who were able to come in, so it's all part of a documentary that we're going to be releasing too. So,
well, you do a lot of collaboration. That's part of why you're nationally acclaimed, and you're a 4-octave range singer, songwriter, born and raised in Boulder, Colorado.
That's right, Colorado-bred girl.
Yeah. And before we go on, let's introduce these fine musicians. Who have you got with you today?
Oh my goodness, I am honored and delighted. I just feel so lucky. I kind of like a lucky star. Like, how did I get so lucky to work with these amazing people? And so Mr. Mark Oblinger, who's over here, is a buddy. We've toured for many years together and helped each other. It's one of those things when you're a musician in this business, to call another musician and just be like, what should I do? Like with this situation. And it goes both ways. Yeah, and it's really, it's one of those, it's funny because I realized that, well, I won't go into all that. I'll introduce the next person. We could be here talking forever. But and next to Mr. Mark Oblinger, a beloved singer, incredible singer. We just kicked some booty up in Montana. We just did some showcases in Montana, and he blew Montana away. It was really fabulous, Mr. Robert Johnson here. So yeah, I love him. And on the bass. He's as cool as he is kind. Mr. Eric Tureen over there on bass, and yeah, talented. And then we have a new friend, actually in a couple years, a new friend on the drums. We got to know each other through video, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So, Max, I always mess up your name. So, Max, that's easy. I don't get that part messed up. But Max DiVincenzo. You try it. DiVincenzo. So, he's there on drums, holding us down, which is great. And Mr. Eric Moon on the keys. He is a wizard. That man is like, you should watch those cogs turn in his brain. He's really genius, I think. And it's fun to work with a genius, and most of the time. Just kidding. And then the beloved and dear Sandra Wong here on fiddle. So yeah, just a real treat. Another talented Colorado musician. So. Yeah, so that was a little lengthy, but they're good buddies, so
yeah. I've seen you perform solo and duo and in different configurations, so it's a nice group of people you have with you today. It's great. I have one question before we go to another song, and that's, you're Boulder, born and raised, as we said, and you grew up with a place with great music and the wonders of nature and spiritual teachings. All those were a big part of your upbringing. Can you name like some very specific mentors or important elements of the music that inspired you?
Yeah, gosh. There's like the greats, I always loved the 70s singer-songwriters, and I always felt like I was born in the wrong generation, like, I missed out on Laurel Canyon, But what I realized is like all of us, we have our own little Laurel Canyon. And so of course, Joni Mitchell and Elton John and, Etta James and Janis Joplin and, all that kind of thing. But also just really inspired, like, my family. My mom was just like, my mom kind of lived a couple feet off the ground. Like I have really great direction in life because Mom did not. So, like, somebody had to be in control. And, but Mom was like, she was part in the stars, and she was an artist and a yoga teacher, and, on the spiritual level, she was a seeker. We started out Catholic, and after she had 5 kids in 5 years, she was like, either I'm getting birth control or I'm moving to another religion. And they didn't give her, there's like no to birth control, so we became Christian, and then it was, then we followed Sun Bear, so a Native American tribe that we went and did circle with and all that, and then we sat with Trungpa Rinpoche, and that was probably the hardest, was sitting still, that part of spirituality. And then she ended up being with a Hindu teacher and kind of landed, at that point. So there was something in her seekingness and she came from this Illinois uptight, country club situation, and she broke that chain, and she gave all of us kids like so much room to be ourselves. And
lots of influences.
Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah. So,
in fact, part of that goes into your next song is Sanctuary, which is the title cut for your upcoming album, which we'll talk about. And looking forward to hearing it.
Okay, let's play it. One voice rising in the darkness, one voice, no matter how small, one voice, each of us together becomes the one voice of us all. One voice, one word, one choice. Each One world we are, brothers and sisters. One world, it's really rather small. One world, ours to care for. One world together, a sanctuary for all. And one voice, one word, one choice. Love, show us how we can make a sanctuary, a safe refuge on higher ground. One people living in one world, each act of love, show us how. Every wall that we break down, every hand that reaches out, everywhere that love is found, building a new dream. Every garden that we tend, every broken heart we mend, every battle that we end, we're building a new dream. Every wall that we break down, every hand that reaches out, everywhere that love is found, we're building a new dream. Every garden that we tend, every broken heart we mend, every battle that we end, we're building a new dream. Love, love, shows how we can make a sanctuary, a safe refuge, a higher ground. One people, one world, each act of love, show us how.
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Yeah. So on the new album, Sanctuary has a full choir with you, right?
Yes, and these guys are holding down the choir, I think, pretty well. Awesome. Yeah, we had the great pleasure. This album, we traveled a few places, and this was, we went to Dallas, Texas, and a girlfriend of mine had lived in this amazing place. It was a renovated church, and it was called The Sanctuary. And when I was singing in it, the sound was so amazing, and I was like, wow, this place needs a song. So it started with wanting to write a song for that space, for all the people that had sung in it over all the years. And then it turned into a much bigger idea. You laugh because you have traversed it with me. Yeah.
And now it's a whole album.
It's a whole project.
Yeah.
It really, it's one of those things, I don't know, artists, we have this vision or these ideas, and it's like, oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. And then you kind of get into the arc of it, and you're like, oh, this might take a little more work than I thought. And then you're like, oh, no, I'll never make it. And then it's like, yeah, here we are. We're going to be releasing this. So,
well,
yeah.
you'll be releasing it tomorrow, February 25th at E-Town Hall,
right.
which at this point you can stream it, but you can't go because it's sold out.
Yeah, and we're actually trying to figure out if we can stream. I think we are going to be streaming it, but it sold out a couple days ago. So
other than that, the whole Sanctuary album that's coming out is a project also.
Yeah.
It's a whole collaborative project. Can you give us the cliff notes of that?
Sure. Really, the vision was doing open your voice workshops with people that don't normally get heard. So marginalized groups, undervoiced communities, individuals. And so the idea was, I've been a facilitator of vocal freedom and vocal mastery for 30 years now. In fact, Mark and I, we started a vocal studio in like the 90s, I think. Yeah, in Boulder called Voices Unlimited? No, Vocal Arts Studio. That was ours, yeah. We were going to put a sign up that said, "Shut up and sing." So I should probably follow my own advice with that. So the vision was to go out and do open your voice workshops, use my facilitating knowledge to help people speak and feel their feelings and tell their stories and all that. And it was amazing, just humbling, truly. One of the first workshops that I did was in coalition with IRC, International Rescue Committee. And so I was doing workshops with teen refugees that had just come over from Syria and from the Congo. And they'd just escaped war. These kids. And so, when I walked into that workshop the first time, every single kid was like, closed. It was just a big no, to anything. And by the end, with the tools that they did and telling their stories, I couldn't get them off the stage and off the microphone. And they were doing dances from their native lands and singing songs and telling stories about their grandmothers that they missed. And just so much richness, all that. And then the job was to condense that into a song and make it a song that would go on the album. And so we did that pretty much for all 13 songs on the album.
So the whole album is a reflection of all these different workshops in your outreach with the Sanctuary Project.
Yeah.
And that will keep going. And this is an audio, visual.
Yes, this is the kickoff. This is like the release
and great.
Getting it into the world.
Okay.
And and then to tour it. And the mission with touring it is to get people up on stage, again, undervoiced people up on stage to sing and be part of it. So.
Well, it's congratulations. It's been a while in the making,
yes.
And that's great. I just wanted to mention too that you have about 11 albums out right now, and you were with Celeste Krenz with Rhythm Angels, the album Girls Like Us.
Yeah.
Extraordinary Days got you some commercial success in the national folk charts and the American country radio charts. And Sanctuary itself was semi-finalist in the songwriters competition.
Yeah, the International Songwriting Contest.
Yeah. So it's you've been working. You've been busy. Yeah.
Always
so
doing
we've got a couple more songs, and then we'll learn some more about you. One is from Sanctuary, and one is a standard that you do on regularly.
One is
off Sanctuary, right? 1,000.
Yes. So one of the songs is one that we wrote with a veteran group, and then one veteran story really, and then another one that it kind of fits with the Sanctuary stuff. It's a little feisty number. We'll do after that. So. All right, so we'll jump into, this is one I co-wrote with Bob Lisi, and his story of being a medic on the front lines in Vietnam. And powerful to hear his story. I had PTSD the next day from just hearing his story. Honestly, I did. It was, and I thought, God, what our soldiers go through and what they live with. And, they're walking around and we don't even know, So this was... This was coming from that place, yeah. Okay. A young man sneaking up on the age of 21, shell-shocked, we're breaking me into the ways of war. Quickly, day in and day out, the blooded children on my hands, insanity shout. If I get out of here, I'll never be the same. Anything soft, you turn to stone. Every day dreaming of getting back home, marching in 1,000-yard stare. They shipped us home, purple ribbon on our breast, but the battle didn't stop here. No rest. Friends gather together, but it's hard to hear, with the killing fields in the background always yelling in my ear. I try not to hide and look natural at the party, but I left thinking it best. It's hard to connect with frozen eyes and a barbed wire chest. Marching in with a hope and a prayer, coming out with a metal heart and 1,000-yard stare. Walking wounded took me years to reveal my pain to other veterans, and theirs to me. Tears fall like ashes, rage burning hot. Gonna tell my story now, gonna fire this warning shot. So many lives traumatized, and for what? Every word of mine, dynamite in service to heal. Gonna pull my story open so that I can feel the true cost of war. Feel the agony, face the insanity of what we're fighting for. Can we fight just as hard to mend our soldiers' scars and then make this war inside finally walking in with a hope and a prayer. Yeah, so that's 1,000-Yard Stare. Whew. All right. You know, we actually write these things, and you never know how they're going to get received out in the world. And I had the honor of being asked to sing at the American Legion on Veterans Day, and we sang this song. And I was like, "Oh my God, you know, are they gonna not like it? Are they not gonna relate? You know, they're getting mad." and instead, we ended up. A number of the veterans were crying, and they gave a standing ovation, and it just was. It was so moving, you know, like they felt like they came up afterwards and they said they felt like they felt that their story came forward.
So before you go into your next song, Rebecca, I wanted to address that for a minute because it's so powerful.
Yeah.
And so many of the songs you write, in fact, and perform are so substantive. I mean, they really address an issue or something out there that you see, as you said, giving those who are not don't have a seat at the table a seat at the table. Is really that the core of your...
It's a core of this album, for sure. Yeah. And, it's not a seat at the table, and also stories that are not popular or stories that people are scared to tell. Mm-hmm. So, because I think, when Bob was sharing his story, he really had not shared it in the fullness of, we were all kind of like shaking after he shared his story. And, I think it was very... Yeah. So I would say that this album is called that. It is asked for that, and I said okay. So yeah.
I know. And the next song has nothing to do with that.
It has absolutely nothing to do with that. This is one that we are going to just like stretch our little legs and have fun. And I want these guys to scat around. And there's just so much talent up here. It's like, let's just have some fun with that. I did write this it did have some meaning. We wrote it for women and abused kids. And so it's still, I guess I've always been doing this. But we had a Wild Women Festival at the Boulder Theater. And Hazel Miller and I and Mary Huckins of Dakota Blonde wrote this one, and this is called Wild Women. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Let me tell you a story about some women I know. Do anything they want, they'll tell you so. They can take just nothing, make it into something good, and something into nothing if it ain't doing what it should. Ain't hanging around for no one to tell us what to do. Wild women, wild women, wild women. Never get the blues. This world can be full of lies and sin. You've never been hit so hard you can't get up again. Now listen to that spark of truth lives inside your soul and leads you to the healing that will make you whole. We're all in this together. Come on and grab hold. Wild women, wild women, wild women. Never get the blues. Yeah. Nobody got the right. Push you around. Nobody got the right. Try and hold you down. Nobody got the right to hit and abuse. We are women of heart and soul, but we paid our dues. Let's get on. have it.
Wow.
Wild women making changes in this world.
Great song, great energy to that. In fact, you've been on a lot of different stages. You've been at Red Rocks and the Bluebird and Avogadro's and the Ogden Theater and all over Boulder. And the festival season is coming. Do you kind of prefer festivals or concerts?
You know, I like them all. I just love singing and performing, and I love it changing up. So it's so fun to have the whole band and the big sound and everything, and then to go to an intimate, just you know, playing kind of situation. So or a really exquisite little trio or something. So and in fact it's looking like we're getting some really nice festivals this summer. We're going to play Kerrville Folk Festival.
Oh, nice.
Back at the Bluebird in Nashville, and a bunch of we're going to play a theater up in Missoula, and so a bunch of cool things. Probably we're hoping the FOCO MX, right?
Yes.
I always call it FOCO RX, like we need the medicine of music, So I really like them all. Yeah.
Okay. Good. I mean, that's once you get the CD release party through all that, you can promote Sanctuary and then get to festivals and all this music like Wild Women that people have grown to love. Yeah. So with 11 albums out, there's a lot of songs out there.
Yeah, and there's actually 12. I've had 12 and this is the 13th.
Oh, okay.
This is the 13th.
Okay.
Yeah, so there were a couple little ones that kind of slipped under the wire, like we sort of released, and they were, there was one called Ruby with Liz Barnez and Maggie Simpson.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That was one.
Yes.
And there was another one that was just a Little Bird. It was one. And so anyway, there were some little quiet guys that didn't really do like the radio and all that.
Okay.
So.
I remember Ruby, though.
Yeah.
I remember that trio.
Yeah.
You came to Avos.
Yeah, that was probably the beginning, the first time of going to Avos. Yeah.
So you had a goal for yourself one time of writing a song a day? And writing a Colorado
song a week.
A song a week?
Yeah.
Excuse me, a day.
That was enough. I do have a friend who did a song a day, for a year. I felt really proud of myself, a song a week for a year with 52 new songs. And then she said she was doing it a day, and I was like, okay.
So how did it impact your songwriting doing that? Did you do it for an entire year?
I did. Yeah, ended up with 52 new songs, and it was really cool. It worked a muscle, and it was just like you want to write or don't want to write, you write. That you just show up, and it just made it that it was like I opened up the spigot. So it was really, there was no writer's block, really. I mean, ideas came on that. It also gave me the opportunity, songs that I wanted to write forever and ever and hadn't. That it was like, okay, now is the time. Like I'm writing a song a week, so.
Like your Colorado song.
Colorado song was one that was born out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you have for us next?
This is New Way Home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote this song with Sally Barris. And she's a hit songwriter out of Nashville, Tennessee. And I have to say that this is sort of, I realize that is kind of my Laurel Canyon, that just to go and be in a little cottage in Nashville and write with my Nashville friends. And I was out there, I had a house out there and a label and everything for about 7 years. And now just in Colorado. So this is a song, it kicks off the album, and it's really just about, there's new ways and we need to find them. Gotta find a new way of walking on this road, a new way to carry this heavy load, a step that moves a little lighter, find a sky that's a little brighter, 'cause the old way's not working anymore. Gotta find a new way home. Gotta find a new wash away. When I see those dark clouds coming, instead of turning around and running, I'm gonna catch the wind and ride on out this storm. Gonna find a new way home. Going home, I'm going home. It's a risk worth taking, a choice I'm making. I'll find my way, I know. Gotta find a new way of breathing in and out, a way to find my feet on this shaky ground. All those answers I've been chasing, well, the truth's right here for facing. I'm gonna trust myself, I'll know which way to go. Gonna find a new way home. Gonna find a new way home.
Beautiful. Simple and beautiful.
Thank you.
But complex, too. Yeah, it sounds so easy, but it's not, is it? It's really not.
You mean finding a new way? or the song?
The song,
Both.
the song. Yeah, and both. You've been called the creativity shaman for all the work that you do with vocal empowerment and your transformational teachings.
Yeah.
You work with a lot of different groups, right?
I do. Like, oh my goodness, fourth graders to like CEOs and kind of like all guy teams and what is it called on Wall Street? You're a trader. You're not a trader, but what is it called when you're on Wall Street? What's the job? None of us know. We're all like such granolas, like stockbroker. Yeah, it's like that. So like working with all these different teams, and then working with like the refugee kids, and so yeah, whole different groups, all different groups.
Real versatile, and being a painter and a poet, and you are very versatile. I do want to remind people this is Live at Lunch, and invite you out there to check out our KRFC RadioVision on YouTube channel. It's really great. You can see this show along with a whole archive set of shows on our KRFC RadioVision YouTube page. It's really great. And also, I want to do a special shout out today to our video team. We have Dan Perez, Eric Delano. We've got our audio team and our video team this morning. We've got on our audio team, we've got Andy Howe, and we've got Chrissy Piley, and we've got Max Mosier, and I hope I've gotten everybody because it really takes a village to make Radio Live at Lunch happen. So, and a special thank you also to the team here at Creative Sector and Music Deck in Fort Collins for this special edition. And you can learn more, simply go to creativesector.net for that. So, how about, I'm going to mention your group of friends again today because they're so talented. We have our Mark Oblinger, and Mark is a Grammy nominee also. We've got Robert Johnson on vocals, Eric Moon on keyboard. We've got Sandra Wong on fiddle, and of course Max DeVincenzo on drums, and Eric Tureen on bass. Eric Tureen becomes easy amidst other names. So wrapping all this up, is there something you'd like to tell the audience out there that we haven't talked about?
Oh, goodness. Well, one, we love KRFC. We love you guys, just absolutely. And we need to also give it up for Denny LaRue. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
So, it's over the years, like we established these relationships, and they're just so precious and sweet. So thank you, KRFC, for having me back, and playing my music for lots of years. And really, really appreciate it. And gosh, what do I want to say? Oh, man, live the life you want to live. It's like it's just so precious, all of it. And, this next song that I'm going to sing is one that was written in this whole strand of Sanctuary. And it really took 3 years to create this album. And in that, my husband was diagnosed with cancer. And it was like, oh boy, kind of being with that. And he went in for surgery and everything went really well. And everything went well as far as the cancer, but we almost lost him in the surgery. They tore an artery and had to open him really fast and sew up an artery. and so, as a songwriter, it's like I pulled, Roger, my sweet Roger, who I've been with since I was 16 years old. And I used to ride the school bus and get off at the stop at his house, which totally, I shouldn't be saying this, it's totally inappropriate. But these days that would be really bad. But I fell in love with him, and he is my sanctuary. And that is worth saying. I think sometimes as a musician, we're all about, it's this and that and these big dreams. And it's like the simple sweetness of being together with our loved ones, And he, just as they were rolling him into the surgery, he looked at me with his little hairnet hat thing on, and he said, honey, we've had a good run. And it was just like, whoa, went to my heart. And this whole song was born from that.
Okay.
So this is called Only Kindness. Comfortable life in slow motion, in pieces shattered in the air, in stunning impact, silence exploding, lies my heart torn apart by how much I care. And brace yourself, now we're spinning. I tried to catch you, but you're heavy in the fall. Past being brave, in this battle we're to be winning, are your eyes with sweet goodbyes, the tragic beauty of it all. And when we lost enough, dug enough graves, we become tender in our pain. When all the fight is gone, stripped to surrender, only kindness remains. And the world goes on, always in a hurry. After what? Tell me why, going where? And our lives get lost in measuring and worry, when every breath we take, Lord, it's a prayer. And when we've lost enough, dug enough graves, we become tender in our pain. When all the fight is gone, stripped to surrender, only kindness remains. And all that we do and all that we've done and dark enough, become tender. When all your fight is gone, surrender to only kindness, only kindness. All right, so that one comes from a tender place in my heart. And now we're going to go to a whole nother place. We're going to go to like a rock your sock place. And this is one of the last songs on the CD. We're going to get up a friend here, Leanne Roberts. We're going to add one more piece to this, as her daughter was a producer on this song and she sang on it out in LA. So we'll get that all set. Come on up. All right. This is a song about women's strength. And we did this with an all-women team in LA and a women-run studio with all-women engineers. And our engineer is Leanne's daughter, Andrea Robertson. She just got nominated for a Grammy working on Beyonce's album. So pretty exciting. All right, here we go. Ready? Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. As a little girl on my mama's knee, steeped in the stories of Adam and Eve, taught my sweet fruits might end in tragedy, and there was something wrong with me. Stay small, you're worthless, your body is dangerous. You put your hands on me, then I'm the one that's to confess. It's time we rewrite all these messages, rise up from history into what I'm meant to be. No apologies, I am breaking free. Shine, shine with all my heart and soul this time. Show the world what I'm made of. Big and bright in full sight. Shine in my light, oh brilliantly, boldly alive. Face the shadows, cut through the noise. Stand tall, raise my voice. Take back my body, take back my choice. I'm here to change the story, can no longer ignore me. I am a woman of power and blood. Sunshine with all my heart and soul Yay!
Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch, and thank you to the Music District here in the heart of Fort Collins, Colorado. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email our music director, David Vacek, at david@krfcfm.org.